there, welcome. This is Brenda once again, back with the second video. Yes, and I'm really sorry for the first one, for the introduction was so much it was cut short, and but I had to start somewhere. So here I am with the second video. So always good. Now I decided to come today to talk about something that is a bit is close to my heart, and that is parenting. Parenting is a very beautiful blessing from God. Children are a blessing. Even the Bible says so. They are such a blessing. As much as they are a blessing, they also come with their own challenges and a roller coaster of all sorts of things as time goes on, from the time of birth until the time you think maybe now they can be on their own, but still to a parent they would remain children anyway. You still worry about them. Now I just want to dwell more in the side of a parenting person with a disability. Yes, persons with disability are very much great parents, and they can be so good at it, because some of them maybe gave birth before disability, and some of them are giving birth even in disability, because in disability definitely is not an inability to be a good parent, and it's also not an inability to give birth. Yes, so many people are giving birth. I used to hope to give birth at one point, if God makes a way. So that aside, there are many challenges that come with parenting to any kind of a person, able-bodied, living with a disability. There are so many things that comes with it. It's just not a walkover that today you have a child and that is it. Now you're waiting for them to grow up. There are so many things that take place, nurturing them to turn out to be good citizens, to turn out to be great spouses, to turn out to be good sons and daughters. I am a parent. I had my child before I got injured with the spinal cord, and as such, I have been going through a roller coaster of stuff. A lot of beautiful things happen, and then also there's those things that sometimes come in, and especially when the kids hit the teenage, it becomes a bit hard. So now today I'm here to to discuss and to share with you. What are those kind of challenges that you've gone through as a person with disability? Maybe you're a wheelchair user. What are those things that have gotten you to a point that you're like, I wish I never gave birth at one point? But again, that only comes, it's because I've gone through it myself. There are times when you look at the child and you're like, are you really? You lose it. You lose it. There are things, that children do, and they just do it because they are who they are. They are children. They are children. There's a time when you feel like you've done all you can. You have done what you can that is in the book of your experience, and you think maybe this will work. From the time you've had your child up until some time, you feel like you've done what a mother or a father should do to nurture a child. But then you see things taking a different course, and you're like, didn't I do enough? Was I sleeping? Did I miss something? Yes, I say this out of experience, because my boy is 16 right now, but what he is right now from 14 to 16 is not what he was from 14 and backwards. 14 and backwards, he was this kind of child who would listen to me. Whatever I said went. It was a gospel truth. I was his hero. He wanted to be like me. He wanted the things that I did, he wanted to do them. At one time I was a jeweler. I still can do some bit of jewelry, but handmade jewelry. There was a time he would sit with me and make a very beautiful necklace. He would make a very beautiful earring. But then the time came and he was like, I'm not going to be a jeweler. I'm not going to be a jeweler like you. That's not my area. I let him be. After a bit of trying, I was like, oh, that's okay. It's not your thing. It's fine. Yeah. But then he was changing. He had reached that age where Whatever you tell him, it feels like you do not know anything. You don't know anything. That is where the issue of fear again comes in. What are your fears? As a mother or father who is in a wheelchair, what are your fears about parenting? When I got injured and now I got to know that I was going to be in a wheelchair for a while, I got to fear. I got to ask myself, what if my son one time denies me? What if one time I go to school and just it feels like I shouldn't be there, and it would be like, I don't know this lady. At that tender age of about 7 years, I had a discussion with him and I asked him, is it okay if I come back? I come to visit you at your school? And he was like, it's okay. It's very okay. You're my mom and I want you there. If you don't come, I'll not feel good. So I was relieved. But the relief did not take away the fear still. I was like, he's still a baby. As he grows up, what will happen? But what I did is I made sure that we have a close relationship. We talk, we laugh, we talk about all things, because I am a mother to him and I'm a father to him. I share all kind of things with him. So what are those fears that you've had as a person with disability and you are a parent? Probably a single parent or maybe both parents. But what are those fears sometimes that you come across? What have you done about them? When my child clocked 16, actually 15, there are things that began to change. The child that used to do things, wake up, clean the house, help the maid, make some breakfast or something like that, he began to sleep. And then COVID-19 came in. It became worse. It was bad. As in, he wakes up at whatever time. It doesn't matter what you're going to tell him. If you talk about something, it's going to become some kind of argument. What is it? How has it been in your own household? How have you been able to handle it? I reached a point when I had to ask for help. I don't have a support system. I don't have people to call. He doesn't have a father figure. What do you do as a single mother? What do you do? What do you do to make sure your child has a support system? What do you do to make sure your child has somebody he looks up to? Unfortunately, I have not had that kind of person, so it's only between me and God. And thank goodness I came across a verse in the Bible in Isaiah that says, "The Lord shall be the teacher of your children, and great shall be their peace." So that verse gives me a bit of peace. In fact, it should give me total peace. But because the human in me still insists I have to do something, so I get a bit worked up. But then what do? How have you dealt with those fears? What actions have you taken to see that you get to a point where you understand that my child actually has to behave that way at a certain point? What have you done to see that you are at a level of sanity and then your child is at a level of understanding? Have you reached a point where you've been like, maybe I'm a little bit too much? Maybe I need to work on my expectations, and then maybe reach a point of compromise? Not again compromise, no, because I don't compromise, I can't compromise. But I reached a point where I got to learn that I have to kind of understand my child. He's not me, and he's a boy. I'm a lady, because if I look back at the time I was growing up, what I see my child do is not what I did back then, because I feel like I was kind of responsible, very responsible, because I didn't have parents anyway. I didn't have a father to show me how father is supposed to be. I didn't have a mother to show me how motherhood is supposed to be, like directing me, and something that I would emulate. I didn't have that. All I can look back is, what did my grandmother do? What did I do? But then, as far as I can go, at 10 years, I was already cooking very nice food. I was already fetching water with very heavy jerrycans. I was responsible for the whole household, for my grandfather and grandmother. I had to cook. If I didn't cook, then nobody would eat. how to clean the house, how to do all that. So I look at myself then, and then when I compare it with my son right now, I know that I've trained him on that, and 13 and behind, he would be so excited to do it. But now 15 and 16, he feels like he doesn't have to. He wants to. He will do it if he wants to. I mean, you move around and you find your child has probably left cups everywhere in the bedroom and everywhere, and you've never trained them to eat in the bedroom. You've never trained them to sleep up to whatever time. You've never trained them to leave place in the bedroom. You've never told them bedrooms where you eat in the first place, and then you begin to feel like you're losing it. You're like, where did I go wrong? Now, if you have no support system and you're a first-time parent, just like myself, you begin to think that all is gone. You begin to look at the worst. You're like, okay, this is where it's starting, and then now it's going to be just worse. I mean, it's going to be bad and bad and bad and worse. More so if you feel like they're no longer listening to you, and then you begin to think, because you're in the wheelchair, or maybe you're living with that disability, so you can't do anything anymore, because if your own child won't listen to you, who else is going to nurture them? Who else is going to tell them this is wrong and this is right? You begin to panic. You're like, what am I going to do? What do you do when you're in that kind of position? What did I do? I called out to friends. I had to. I mean, I should have kept quiet with my problem, with my dirty laundry and all that, but I know I had a child to bring up. A good citizen, a good husband to someone one day, and a good son. And this is the time. This is the time when I have to, when he has to pick what is right and what is wrong. I don't have a father figure to do that. And one time I remember telling him, excuse me, I'm going to find some guy on the road and grab him and like, come be a father figure. I'm not going to do that. So I called out friends, and I knew that I needed counseling. Personally, I needed counseling. I needed to understand what children at that age are, because what do they do? How am I supposed to respond? Am I insecure? And it's true, at one point I was feeling insecure, because I felt like my own son was not, maybe felt embarrassed of having me as a mother because I'm in a wheelchair. And then maybe at one point I felt like maybe he's not listening to me because I am in the wheelchair. He's tall, walking around, so handsome, and then has this mommy in the wheelchair and always nagging him, do this, do that. You shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Can't you just do this and be that? I mean, I felt like being some kind of nagging jink on the wheelchair and something like that. So I was losing it. So I had to call friends. Somebody sent counselors to us, and I needed them because I'd already been thinking about counseling personally. So I called out, and when the counselors came, I was like, I first need to talk about me. I need to know, am I being a good parent? Is what I'm doing right? Are my fears? Could my son be getting embarrassed of me right now or something like that? But then again, I got to learn that it's just age. It's just their age. And there's nothing you can do about it. Even there's nothing he can do about it. It's the age. And somehow I have to understand it. I have to reach a point of understanding and know that this is the age. But again, I can't leave him because that is the age. I have to be there to direct him. By the time he comes out of that age, he should be on the right path and not in the wrong path. Anyway, I feel like today I have talked so much. I just want to let you know that being a parent, whether in a wheelchair or walking or anything like that, is a roller coaster. It comes with all kinds of mixed emotions. It comes with so many things. But it is a ministry that God has entrusted in you. Never feel like you're alone in that. At one point, I thought I was alone. You're not alone. There are so many people crying. Just find help. There is a saying in Africa by an African proverb that It takes a community to raise a child. You cannot do it on your own. There is a saying from Sue Atkins: there is no such a thing as a perfect parent. You can just only be you. So just be you, love your children. Whatever changes, love them. Show them that you love them. I reached a point where I was beginning to withdraw love because I was drained. But again, every other time when I was not so angry, I knew he's my son and he needed me, and that is all. And I know that I'm not alone in this. So many of us out there are going through that, and especially us in the wheelchair. Okay, I don't want to take so much of your time. I've already talked so much, and if there is anything more that I need to talk about concerning this parenthood, especially in the wheelchair, I will come back. And if anyone has anything to ask concerning parenting, I do not have any degree in parenting. I'm still in the school of experience. And one day when I'm done with the school of experience and I've graduated, I'll come back with all those facts. But again, they will not be the facts because we all go through different things and we have different ways of solving things. But I hope that this helps someone and that you get to subscribe and come back for more. It might not be all about parenting because I said I'm going to talk about different things. We're going to do different things. We might even cook together. We might exercise together. So today I'll stop here and thank you so much. Hit subscribe and then that thumbs up. Bless you. See you, Laura.